Getting China and India right, in fact, is particularly critical in the current environment. This year, next year, according to the best projections of the 12 largest economies in the world, China and India are pretty much the only economies that are growing and still growing robustly. That's number one. So therefore, if companies want growth, that's where they can get growth, China and India. Number two is that in the current environment, companies are finding themselves and will continue to find themselves under severe cost pressures, which means that the pressures to optimize the global supply chains are not going to ease up anytime soon, and China and India play an important role on the supply chain side.
A robust China-India strategy means companies must attack four realities, game-changing realities. One is that China and India are the only two countries that are mega markets with micro customers, and they represent huge growth opportunities for companies. And two, they represent opportunities for companies to radically change their cost structure. And three is to leverage China and India for innovation, to dramatically increase the innovation capabilities of companies. And fourth, we hope also to help companies to realize that how fierce and ambitious the dragons and tigers are from China and India.
I think firms that don't get their China and India strategy right within the next 3 to 5 years run a serious risk. And here I'm talking about the Fortune 500 firms, the Fortune 1000 firms. That firms at that level, if they don't get their China and India strategy right, run a serious risk of not just poor performance, but simply ceasing to exist by 2020. Why do I say that? If you look at 2001, there were less than 5 companies from China and India in Fortune 500. 2008, there were 36 companies. And there is no reason to not assume or not predict, in fact, that by 2020, there could be as many as 150 to 200 companies from China and India in the global Fortune 500. So therefore, if you are not getting your China and India strategy right, maybe your competitor down the street is getting it right, or a domestic company from China or India is getting it right. And whoever among your competitors, current or new ones, gets the China and India strategy right, in an increasingly integrated global world, they're going to come after you. And they're going to come after you not just in China and India, but within the US, within Europe, and within Japan. Getting China and India strategy right is in fact not a discretionary option at this point. It is a strategic imperative.